Hello, TD Homestead friends. Today is Friday, November 11th. Tropical storm Nicole's been coming through the area. We didn't really get much, got a lot of rain, no serious wind. Take a quick look at our tomato in a mason jar here. As you can see, it's doing pretty good. Got tomato on there. Got a few dead leaves needs to be cut off. I actually made a mistake of letting this jar dry out, and it was completely dry, and the plant was wilted down so much that it was touching the floor, but it came back from that. Now we're going to work on getting some pineapple plants up potted, and actually we're going to go ahead and show you how all that's done. Here's one that we've started a while back. It's actually been in this pot a long time, and as you can see, there are plenty of roots there that have grown. I'm going to say it's been in this pot since, in this teacup since June. So it's been there a long, long time. It should have been put into some dirt long before now. And then here's one that's in the mason jar, and because it gets light in there, algae grows, and I don't think it's got quite as healthy of a root system, but it's definitely still alive, and all that's new growth. So anyway, we're going to show you how we got to that point, and then we're going to go outside and repot some that I started back in. Originally, the first one started back at the end of February. Okay, so you got to get yourself a pineapple first, and then all you got to do is just twist the top off like this. You got the top off, and then you're going to take that off for it. Then you're just going to peel back these leaves here till you get about an inch or so of the inner core exposed. Just like that. Peel them off. You just keep peeling them. Peeling them. I'm not sure this one's in the greatest of shape in the world, but I think it'll still work. And actually what I like to do is, you got this little chunk of pineapple on the bottom here. Go ahead and cut that off. Cut that off. Cut that off, make it nice and flat on the bottom, and then the roots are going to grow out of the bottom area all this. There's actually some little bit of roots showing right there. But you stick this down into a cup of water, and in a few weeks you'll see roots growing out the bottom. And then after that, you go and you can put it in some dirt, and we're going to go outside and show you that now. Okay, so once you get your pineapple top rooted, you're going to want to get it into some soil. We're going to work with this one here in the mason jar first. It's spent a lot of time in this jar. There's algae growing all over its roots, and I still think it's going to survive. So you get you some soil. I already got a little bit in here. Made a nice little pocket for these roots to hang down into. And you're not going to want to bury it too deep. Let's add a little more. That was a toothpick. I took that out. That was actually just holding it from sinking down in the water. At some point, I didn't have that toothpick in there, and it did sink down in the water. It got a little soggy, and I don't think it liked that much. But it can come back from it. ahead and fill in around the sides good. Pack everything in, not too tight, but you want to make sure the soil is making good contact everywhere with the roots. And we got that one planted. Pretty good. All this is actually new growth. Right down here, the original top, I cut all that down, almost looked like a little pine cone. And then what you see here is actually grew out of it after I did that. I was just trying to do that one a little bit of a different way. So let's work on this other one we got. The one in the teacup, it actually has a beautiful set of roots on it. It was also in the cup way too long. Let's go ahead and take this one out, and this one is a really nice looking plant. You see, it's got they almost root bound pretty much, but we got some nice roots hanging out there. So let's get that one in its pot. Add a little dirt or soil. Okay, a little more around here on this side. Pack it in a little. After you water them in, you may have to come back and add a little bit of soil later. But for now, that one's planted pretty good as well. It's a nice looking plant there. I did not trim this one back, so some of that was actually part of the original. Most of the stuff with the brown tips, that was actually on when it was still on the pineapple. All this here is new at the top. So, there's our two pineapples planted that we've had rooted in, one in a cup and one in a mason jar. But let me show you one that I did back at the end of February. And so here now it's November. And this is how big it's gotten. It's looking pretty good. It takes about 18 months to 2 years to actually see a pineapple, and what's going to happen is it's going to be a cluster of flowers is going to rise up from here, and then that's going to form into the pineapple. We have a couple over here that I wanted to show you. So this one here was actually started at approximately the same time as that one, but the top was not in very good shape. It was kind of rotted out in the center. I didn't even think it was going to work out. Eventually there was actually mold growing in the center, but I just went ahead and let it root, and it did grow roots, and I stuck it in this pot. And then eventually what ended up happening was little pups started growing from around the outside instead of the center of it growing. And so you see right here I got a couple that I actually broke off and put in different pots. So these three here come off this plant right here, and I actually just left this one, and it got pretty good size. And then all of a sudden here recently I noticed another one was growing from the side, so I'm going to show you that. If you look down in there real close, you don't know how good you can see it, but right here, let me see if I can turn it where you can see it. Right down in here, there's a little pup growing. But then what I also noticed is, if you look down in the center, I don't think y'all can see this that good, but if you look down in the center, there's actually one growing from the center now. That just started recently too. That was a big surprise. And then now I also see another one coming from in between some leaves down here. So these things really like to grow. You just got to get them into some soil, and they seem to want to grow pretty good. I can tell you they don't like the cold much. When it got down below 40, some of these started looking a little rough. They're starting to recover. This one's still a little yellow, but it's recovering. These are greening up real good. But that's the end of our video. Hope you enjoyed. Hope it inspires you to grow your own pineapples. Like, subscribe, and share. And enjoy your day.